The rain poured heavily over the glass roof of the luxury hotel in Shanghai. A convoy of black cars waited at the entrance, their engines humming like restless beasts. Cameras flashed, reporters shouted, and bodyguards moved in perfect synchronization. Among the chaos stood Lina Zhao, a quiet hotel interpreter with a small earpiece and tired eyes. Her job was simple: translate, smile, and stay invisible. But when she heard two security guards whisper something in rapid Chinese that froze her blood, her heart began to pound. Huanche. Jadun Zai Di Ilianli, switch cars. The bomb is in the first one. Her fingers trembled. The man they were protecting, Michael Harrington, an American billionaire philanthropist, was walking straight toward that very car, smiling at the cameras, completely unaware of the danger. Lina knew if she was wrong, she could lose everything: her job, her visa, maybe even her life. But if she stayed silent, a man would die before her eyes. She took a shaky breath and shouted across the marble floor. "Sir! Don't get in that car!" The world seemed to freeze. Cameras turned. The guards stiffened. And within seconds, everything changed. The moment Lina shouted, chaos erupted. The guards lunged forward, guns drawn. Michael froze mid-step, confusion in his blue eyes. The lead bodyguard barked something in his earpiece and pushed the billionaire aside just as Lina ran toward them. "What did you say?" Michael demanded. Lina's voice trembled, but she repeated, "I heard them, your guards, they said there's a bomb in the first car." The two guards she pointed at went pale. Their hands instinctively reached for their holsters, but before they could move, the security team restrained them. Within minutes, police sirens echoed in the distance. The convoy was sealed off. Explosive experts were called in. Everyone watched in horrified silence as the bomb squad carefully opened the first car door and found a small, wired explosive under the seat. Gasps filled the air. Michael turned to Lina, eyes wide in disbelief. "You just saved my life." But Lina didn't smile. Her face was pale, her hands shaking. She knew what she heard wasn't an accident. That night, as investigators swarmed the hotel, Lina sat in a small interrogation room. Her mind replayed the whispers, the panic, the explosion that never happened. An officer questioned her calmly. "Miss Zhao, how did you understand what they said?" "I grew up in Guangzhou. I studied languages before working here." "Do you know them personally?" She shook her head. "No. But one of them, he kept looking at me, like he knew I understood." When she finally left the station, the hotel lobby was empty. Only Michael remained, sitting alone near the fountain. His suit jacket was gone, and his face looked older now, tired, human. "You were brave," he said quietly. "You didn't have to do that." Lina hesitated. "If I didn't, I wouldn't sleep tonight." He smiled faintly. "Then I owe you more than my life. I owe you my peace." For a brief moment, two strangers shared a silence that felt heavier than words. But neither of them knew the night wasn't over. Because someone else had seen Lina's face. And someone, somewhere, had just decided she knew too much. The next morning, Lina's phone rang before dawn. The number was unknown. "Miss Zhao," said a deep voice. "You should not have spoken yesterday." The line went dead. Fear clenched her stomach. She locked her doors, drew the curtains, and called the police, but they brushed it off as a prank. Meanwhile, Michael's team began investigating who planted the bomb. The two guards Lina had accused were missing, their records falsified, their IDs fake. Whoever orchestrated this was powerful, organized, and dangerous. Michael couldn't shake the guilt. He flew to Lina's small apartment that evening, bringing two security agents with him. "You're not safe," he told her. "Stay with my team until we find out who did this." Lina refused at first, but when she found her apartment door slightly open, lock broken, she nodded silently. That night, she stayed in a secure penthouse under Michael's protection. But sleep wouldn't come. She kept hearing the whisper. As the investigation unfolded, shocking truths emerged. The guards had ties to an international investment rival who wanted Michael dead before a billion-dollar humanitarian deal could go through, one that would expose corruption in multiple countries. And Lena's warning had ruined their plan. When the hitmen realized she was alive, they came after her. The final confrontation came 3 days later, on the rooftop of the same hotel where it all began. A storm raged again, lightning flashing across the skyline. Lena was cornered by one of the surviving attackers, a tall man with cold eyes. "You should have stayed silent," he hissed, raising his gun. Before he could pull the trigger, Michael appeared with security agents. A single shot echoed, not from the killer, but from one of Michael's guards. The man fell, weapon clattering across the wet floor. Lena dropped to her knees, trembling, rain mixing with her tears. Michael knelt beside her, placing his coat over her shoulders. "You saved me twice," he whispered. "Now it's my turn."